than to try and learn it from a doctor. Actually, you know, you got delayed by 30 minutes. It's unfortunate that when you get a doctor as a chief guest, he's always late because he's with a patient. And yes, I was with a patient. And this patient, unfortunately, happens to be my brother-in-law, who's extremely sick in the hospital at the moment. And I cancelled this of coming because he was so ill. And then around 4:30, as he stabilized, I said, I can't. This is your day. This is a day you waited for. This is a day you've always wanted to cherish in your memories. I can't take that away from you. And I felt that I had to be here amongst you. There's another reason. And the other reason was that perhaps some of the experiences which I have gained over many years would perhaps go with you and make you better citizens of India. So I'm not here to talk management. I'm not here to give you sermons about healthcare management, or for that matter any other form. I'm just going to talk to you about my experience in life and what over the last many years I've realized as to how you can become a better human being. Now everybody of you has aspirations. There's no question about that. You all want to be out there and be successful. And we'll come to what success is all about subsequently. But let's assume that you want to be successful and you're actually looking forward to being great or being very well known, to be rich, to be powerful. And for that you need certain ethics, I must tell you that. And you need personality ethics and you need character ethics. Now what is personality ethics? I grew up to be a famous person by actually imbibing both. And personality ethics is what you see, which I am. Outspoken, aggressive, personality dressing, power dressing, able to communicate well, able to talk to you confidently, talk anything I want. And that's something very different. But that's not what character ethics is all about. Character ethics is what you really develop over a period of time. These can be had artificially. I can dress power, I can speak, I can just imbibe, I can actually talk, I have personality traits which overpower people. But character ethics come far more difficulty. It's ethics, it's humility, it's courage, it's compassion, it's truthfulness, and those are character ethics. Now when you actually progress in life, you actually need both of these. You need personality ethics and you need character ethics. One without the other is not going to make you succeed. So if you really want to succeed, you're really going to have both. You just can't be powerful, dresser and outspoken and be a crook at heart. You'll never get anywhere. If you don't have compassion, if you don't have truthfulness, it's not going to happen. But you've got to understand where does it all lie, because personality ethics is a secondary greatness and character ethics is a primary greatness. So as you go on in life and 30 years later, when I've got no hair left here, and I've got a paunch, and I can hardly walk, where are those personality ethics gone? And I'm wrinkled. Then somebody will stand up and say, this guy looks like my voice would be trembling, and the personality ethics are gone, but the character ethics will always remain. There will be people, everybody saying that guy is a great guy because he's truthful, he's humane, he's cultural, he's got compassion. Now those are the integral values. So actually while you go out there and meet success, you have to possess both. But what you really got to know is what you actually stay with. And what you would be 20 years later and 25 years later and 30 years later. It will not be your personality ethics. It will be your character ethics. So what would you be known by? You would not be known 30 years later. And I tell you this personally myself. I will not be known, and I'm not known or would not want to be known as the smartest guy, as the best orator, as the most flamboyantly dressed individual. I would like to be known like, that was a good man. That was the good man that he is. And if you get to know that, you know that your character ethics have overtaken your personality ethics. Now let's talk about success. And I want you to imbibe every word of what I say, because it's going to be very important when you're out there in this bad world outside. We talk about success. And yes, success is so different for individuals. Success for somebody there may be amassing a lot of wealth. Success for someone else sitting there would be saying, I become the most academic person and write numerous research papers, and that will be my success. And then there will be another one somewhere there saying, success would be I marry and have 7 children. I hope not, but there could be one. And yet success is different at different times of the life. Today my priorities may be, do excellent good work, and then 10 years later say, I want to make a lot of money. And then somewhere down the road I say, 40, 30 years later, I've lost out on a lot of time, I want to swim, scuba dive, I've just missed out on all that, so my success revolves around, let me have a joy with my family, and that's what success is. So success is a perception. And that's all one is aiming for when you talk about success. But let's assume that success did mean some form of greatness, which I've talked to you about. Define it, because there are only 4 tenets to success. I want to tell you that. There are only 4 tenets, and therefore it is very easy to achieve. Now what is the tenets? You have to have ethics and sincerity in whatever you do. Remember that. Ethics and sincerity. You should be passionate, and that should be revolve around your profession or whatever, and with ethics. You have to win the respect of your peers. So other people around you should also understand and know that that actually makes a difference. You are good. And when they say you are good, you must be good. So remember that you have to have respect of your peers. You cannot get forwards in success if you haven't got the blessings of your parents and sacrifices of your family. Remember that as an individual, if you believe your success, then you're wrong, because it's the sacrifice of your parents, the family, the people around you, they have contributed a lot to your success and are going to contribute tremendously. Your spouses, your everybody who revolves around you are going to contribute to your success. The success is never going to be your own. And do not forget that success relates to the Lord above. I can tell you that very clearly. Now, I can tell you success. Now, let me relate to you why do I believe that Lord above actually dictates your success. And that is that in a split second, my greatness, and I don't ever believe that I coined my greatness to a T, because walking out of here or even walking down but staircase in the hospital, I can have a fall in a split second, bang my head, and go into a coma and never wake up again. The driver could actually bang my hand in the car, and I would never be able to perform, as they claim, the largest amounts of angioplasty in practically one world. It would be a split second that the greatness is gone. One split second and it's gone. So if it's gone in a split second, how was it ever yours? How did you ever even create it? You're just fortunate enough to have got the greatness, because it goes in a split second. Now, I can tell you my own story. I never wanted to be a cardiologist. In fact, I was one of the biggest failures in life to start off. The best I ever achieved in life was a first rank in KG. And that's, unfortunately, my father is the most disappointed person in my early life. I actually failed class 4 to retake the exam when he taught me for 3 months to actually be able to get, and requested the principal that please promote him, I make sure my son does better. I had a great time in my college, in my school. In fact, I didn't get into the medical college for 3 successive years after high secondary. 3 successive years. I was intelligent. I was intelligent, maybe I didn't want to become a doctor, so I must have been intelligent. But 3 successive years, and he insisted, you got to be a doctor, and I said, well, okay, I'm trying, till I one day said, what about BCom, or what about something else? And in those days where engineering and medical colleges were the only 2 things any parents knew, His automatic response was, I don't care, you try for 10 years, I want you to be a doctor. So I said, well, there it is. Maybe the 11th year I'll do something else. So I can give it a try for 10 years. Well, it took me 3 years to get into a medical college, and the best I got was a second waiting list at Aligarh Muslim University, so that was good enough to get into the medical college, and that was the only ever call I got from a medical college. Having done that, I had a great time in the medical college. The first year went by, my flunking in all 3 exams, which didn't matter to me at all. My parents were somewhere abroad. The second trimester, as we call it, it goes to 1.5 years before professional health, and so that was also bad. And for third year, that was the first university exam, and I had a great time, and I did the first university exam, and we waited for the results till I didn't even wake up for going to see the notice board for the results, till somebody came up to me and said that, Doc, I wasn't a doc at that time, they said, you have actually got 2 gold medals in the 3 subjects. You come first in 2 of these. I said, thank you. I've heard this one before, we've said it all the time. And I therefore actually, when evening fell, I did go out, because a few more people told me, so I went out and saw the result, and actually I was a topper. I was actually a topper. I couldn't believe it, and from there on, people thought I bricked. People thought I cheated. People thought all sorts of things. There was no way I was to become a topper. From there on, my life changed.